Hello everyone and welcome to That Football Podcast, your weekly dose of everything football. This is going to be episode 10 and we have just witnessed the craziest transfer window of all time with the most money spent ever by European clubs worldwide. Now, so we're going to talk about obviously the Premier League mainly, and let's start off with Alexander Isak and his transfer to Liverpool. Now, what are your opinions on that transfer, Tom?
Absolute greed from Liverpool. Greedy bastards, that's what I'm saying. There was no need for them to get Isak. Ekitike was doing so good. 3 goals in 3 games, and they're going to buy Isak. Come on. Share it around,
They're becoming the new Real Madrid, like Galactico era. But it was a British record from deadline day at £125 million, according to the BBC.
Yeah, how much did Florian Wirtz go for as well?
He went for 150, but this is the record fee on deadline day.
Jeez. So it was £300 million just between those 2 players. Right, that's next level.
I don't know where they're getting all this money from, honestly, because obviously FFP has to come into play and they need to be investigated.
Yeah, literally.
They're definitely doing something shady. So obviously we know that he came from Newcastle United to Liverpool FC, but it came at a bit of controversy, should we say, because he had a dispute with Newcastle United and words were being thrown across the room. But mainly because of this public statement that he put on his Instagram story. He said, quote unquote, "Promises were made and the club has known my position for a long time. To now act as if these issues are only emerging is misleading. When promises are broken and trust is lost, the relationship can't continue. That's where things are at right now for me." Now, what do you make of this?
Yeah, to be honest, I reckon he's being a bit disrespectful. Honestly, we don't know what's happened behind the scenes, obviously, but coming from Isak's perspective and stuff like that, I see him as a bit of a big ego from his behalf and stuff like that, thinking he's a hot shot now, which kind of he is. He's a very sought after person. But it doesn't mean you just, have a choppy old club, You can't just go attack them, They've done so much with Isak as well. They've supported him, brought him up the ranks and stuff like that. So, and for him to cut off from those type of, this type of situation and cut him off pretty harsh ended, it's not really fair.
Well, basically, Newcastle, they pretty much gave him a name because he was a nobody when he was at Real Sociedad, and they brought him from Real Sociedad to the Premier League, and now look where we are. He's one of the sought-out strikers out of the entire world.
Yeah, 2 years ago, he was barely spoken of, but no one even knew him. And Newcastle kind of just brought him up, so the least he can do is thank them.
100%, and he's not even young as well. He's in his mid to late 20s.
Yeah. I think he's 25 or something.
Something like that, 25, 26, maybe more. But he's not exactly young, so, he's getting towards the end of his career. And, maybe give a bit of respect for the people that helped you. But following this trend, we've actually got another transfer that happened this window with basically the same thing. Alejandro Garnacho did the same thing and forced a move after speculation of being disrespectful while on Hong Kong journey tour. Now, he was shown to ignore fans and not shake their hands while also posting an Instagram story of him in an Aston Villa shirt with Rashford on the back. Now, what are your thoughts?
I thought it was pretty devious, not gonna lie. I don't know, I kind of liked it, he just testing the waters a bit. Obviously, I'm a Rashford fan, I love Rashford. But yeah, he was pushing a little bit too far. He's on thin ice, let's just say that. And in the end, the media just took hold of it and just twisted it and stuff like that. Made an absolute meal out of it, so Garnacho was put on the chopping block.
It's not helping his case as well because there's actually a secret story that only to close friends, but it was leaked out to the internet when actually he landed back from the tour from Hong Kong in Manchester. He put on his story, finally, with the crying emoji and the paradise emoji.
That's classic. That's a classic Garnacho right there. What about the one, the tattoo artist and the vape in his hand?
Oh, yes.
I think everyone saw that one. Yeah, everyone was creaming over it, saying like, "Oh, bro, he can't be doing. He's a footballer. He can't be vaping, stuff like that." So it wasn't a good start to the year. Let's just say that of the season.
Definitely. Obviously, I think it was a good decision by Manchester United to get him out of there. He basically forced his way out anyway. But you don't want that sort of environment around the dressing room. You know, as Manchester United are trying to rebuild.
Yeah, which was struggling a lot to rebuild. Oh man, it's gonna be a long process, very very long. But you know, we're starting somewhere. Mbemo, Cunha, Sesko, so good start.
Well, there is a little positives to this story about him leaving. That Garnacho actually joined on a 7-year deal. 7 years, right? 7-year deal to Chelsea to 2032.
Jesus Christ.
Now, heaps and heaps of like these big contracts and these big years. Like, you've never seen it before, but obviously they do that now to get away with the FFP. And, you know, he only went for £40 million, so you put that across 7 years. He goes very, very little each year. That means he can have more money to spend.
Yeah, exactly.
But this is where the positive really comes in. Manchester United put a 10% sell-on clause, which means he is the 4th largest sale in Manchester United's history after Cristiano Ronaldo, Romelu Lukaku and Radamel Falcao. Now, do you know what that means when a club puts on a sell-on clause?
Go on, mate.
So basically, let's say, okay, right now, they just sold him to Chelsea. 10% sell-on clause. So that means, let's say from Chelsea he goes to, I don't know, Villarreal in Spain, right? Let's say he goes for £50 million. Manchester United will actually receive 5% of that fee. So they'll receive £5 million just from that transfer. And for all future transfers, they'll receive 10%.
Oh wow.
Yes, so that's very good. So obviously that's also making him the largest ever sale for Manchester United coming out of the academy, according to Sky Sports.
Yeah, but was it academy though? Was it really academy? Come on.
I mean, not really, because he's actually born in Spain, believe it or not. Even though he plays for Argentina, I think one of his parents is Argentinian. He's actually born in Spain, and I'm not sure what academy, it was like one of the best, I think it was Sevilla. And he transferred from Sevilla Academy to Manchester United Academy, so he wasn't really a homegrown player, would you say?
Yeah, no. I think he came to under 18s, I think he came over.
Under 18s, yeah.
Yeah, under 18s came over, so wasn't too bad.
It's not like a Kobe Mainu who was actually born and bred through the Manchester United Academy.
Yeah.
Alright, we'll move on to the other top summer signings. Now, obviously, where we left at last video, it was obviously speculation around Victor Gyökeres. Would he actually join Arsenal? Yes, he did join Arsenal on a 5-year contract, £63.5 million package according to Sky Sports. Benjamin Sesko to Manchester United on another 5-year deal, 2 5-year deals, with an €85 million package. Your thoughts?
Me personally, he's a good player. I wouldn't get that wrong. Definitely a lot of talent, but 85 mil, like, man, I wouldn't think that high really, but you know, it's what it is. You know, we're just spending dollars, splashing cash, trying to rebuild. So, you know, sometimes you got to take a risk. So hopefully it pays out in the long run.
Other ones, Lucas Vazquez to Bayer Leverkusen on a free agent according to Fabrizio Romano. Ilkay Gundogan to Galatasaray on a 2-year deal as a free agent from Manchester City. How weird is that, Fabrizio Romano? And this is another big one. Antony plus Amrabat to Real Betis. Amrabat on loan from Fenerbahce, and Antony, €22 million plus 3 million add-ons. Plus, this is huge as well. Manchester United have done this good. 50% sell-on clause.
That's huge. That's absolutely huge. But I think it's really selling for that much though after Real Betis.
If he does really good, imagine he goes for 80 mil. Manchester United receive 40 mil.
Well, the likelihood of that happening is like so low. But you never know. Real Madrid might, you know, oh, we want Antony, you know, come on, here, mate. Imagine that, that'd be crazy.
That is crazy. So Manchester United did do kind of good business this transfer window with the sell-on clause, but unfortunately they have to get, you know, Garnacho, Sancho and, you know, Antony out of that area because obviously they've been exiled and training alone. Got to get money for them while you still can. Moving on, still kind of with Manchester United, Rasmus Højlund to Napoli, €6 million loan plus a €44 million option to buy. Your thoughts?
To be honest, I'm glad the guy left. He's obviously struggling at United. He had a pretty harsh end of the season. Started off not too bad, had a good start, and then also just came crashing down. Reasons for that, I'm not sure. Probably mentally, stuff like that. But I mean, he's got a debut today, so can't complain. He's doing something right. Maybe it's a league difference in style of play, but I'm glad for the guy. I hope he's has a good season because he started for United so well, and then the media got into him and stuff like that, and kind of put pressure on him. But I hope he does well in Napoli. I really do.
Nick Waldemay to Newcastle United, £85 million total package. The 1.98 metre tall striker. Crazy. He's known to be the 2 metre guy that has the ability of Messi. What do you think?
If anyone doesn't know, Massimo's been talking about this guy for the last 2 weeks, saying, "There's no way this guy just there's no way. 1.98 metres tall, what the heck are they doing?" But, it's pretty funny listening to it and stuff, but, obviously he's a beast. He scored, didn't he?
He scored in his debut.
Yeah, that's crazy. So obviously he lived up to the hype. He's got to live up to it, I reckon.
Now, this is kind of a pattern with Newcastle United because I've done some deep research into Newcastle and their players, and I've come to the conclusion they have a lot of tall players. So now Nick Waldemay, 1.98 metres tall. They also have Dan Burn, 1.98 metres tall. Nick Pope, goalkeeper, 1.98 metres tall. Sven Botman, a centre back, 1.93 metres tall. Fabian Schär, 1.86 metres tall. Jamal Lascelles, 1.88 metres tall. Alex Murphy, 1.88 metres tall. Joe Linton, 1.86 metres tall. Joe Willock, 1.86 metres tall.
Okay, why has no one spoken about this before?
And another guy, William Osula, 1.91 metres tall.
What is this squad? What the heck is this, bro? Someone nerfed this team right now, bro. That's crazy. There's no way. Imagine being a freaking, 5'5" winger going against an absolute giant of a centre back. You're gonna get crunched.
Their entire team, in basically every single position of the pitch, is over 6 foot something.
Yeah, 6'5". They're what? 6'4", 6'5".
It's a trend. I don't know. It must come with their style of play.
That's ridiculous.
So that one's done out the way. Now the breaking news just a few weeks ago, but we're getting onto it now. Manchester United knocked out of the EFL Cup to Grimsby Town.
Moment of silence, please. Yeah, that was a hard watch. I turned it off at half time because we were playing so shockingly, but yeah, it was definitely disappointing. But we build from there. We take our defeats, learn from them. Grimsby, don't underestimate them. I'm sure Arsenal do the same thing against Grimsby. Yesterday we were Arsenal, mate. I remember that first game, starting game with more percentage of possession. I remember that.
You lost the game,
played better. Mate, Set Piece FC can bugger off, right?
Mate, I'm happy with Set Piece FC, Dark Arts FC.
Mate, we owned that game. But anyway, Grimsby versus United. Yes, we played bad. Grimsby showed up, the fans got into us. Onana, no comment. But yeah, he cost us the game. I know it cost us the game, I reckon, personally. But it's what it is. We carry on. Yeah, hopefully the next few weeks are looking brighter than the Grimsby versus United game, let's just say that.
Looking very grim, I can say. But they played.
That was a horrible pun, mate. That was horrible.
Sorry about that. It was a good pun. They know it. Grimsby Town. News come out. Grimsby Town has played an eligible player in that fixture. Clark O'Dua was registered a minute late for the match, and Grimsby was fined £20,000, while they only received $7,000 for winning the tie.
Yeah, bloody disgrace from Grimsby, actually. Bloody disgrace. We deserve that win. It should have been a forfeit for them, actually, so it's a bloody disgrace from Grimsby. You know, just typical scandalous activities, but you know, it's what it is. Clearly, you know, Grimsby is just a horrible club. It is, you know, disrespectful, not playing by the rules, stuff like that. So, but we'll give it to them. You know, we're charity people. So you know, we'll give it to them. Take it as a gift. Let's just say that.
The EFL board has come out and said there will be no replays.
Classic. What do you expect, really? What do you expect?
It will go on as Grimsby into the next round. Manchester United, the first team from the Premier League, knocked out of the EFL Cup. And do you know why this was? It's because you guys did not make Europe last season. That's why you guys are playing the second round while everyone else starts in the third round. This wouldn't have happened if you guys made Europe, win that Europa League final. It all comes back to haunt you.
Tottenham. Bloody Tottenham. But it's what it is. New year, new menu. So what can I say?
Now, more grim news. Based around Manchester United, but not really. 3 former Manchester United managers sacked within 5 days. Jose Mourinho, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer and Ten Hag sacked from their clubs. Jose sacked after Fenerbahce didn't qualify for the Champions League. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer sacked from Besiktas after recent poor results. And the big headline, Bayer Leverkusen board sacked Ten Hag he lasted less than 10 weeks after 3 games. People are calling him Eric 10 weeks.
That's classic. I haven't heard that one, actually. I haven't heard that. But yeah, it's a bit weird, isn't it? It's a bit strange. Like, I don't know what to say about it. It's just, you know, especially Ten Hag, like, you would not expect that. Come on, you can't judge someone with 3 games. Like, come on, that's a bit. Did he win any games?
Don't think so.
He didn't win any.
Maybe 1. I'm not sure. I don't follow Bundesliga, but maybe 1. But it was pretty grim.
Yeah.
But you don't sack a manager after 3 games. So obviously, something's happened in the background.
100%. You know.
Apparently, he was actually shocked at the decision. They interviewed him after the decision, and he was actually shocked with the decision from the board.
Yeah, I mean, fair enough. It wouldn't be 3 games. Far out. Give them a chance, you know. Or we're rational around here. We're rational, are we? Far out.
Has to be like one of the shortest manager roles in history.
Oh, easy.
It's crazy. 10 weeks.
Like, come on.
It's ridiculous. But it's not really a good look for Manchester United, is it?
No, definitely. What's the 4 or 5 managers?
The last 3, all sacked within 5 days.
What? Like, come on.
Yeah, it's just not good news. But on to the last recent event. Daniel Levy leaves Tottenham Hotspur and steps down as executive chairman. He leaves after 25 years now. I'm not sure if you know him, but he's the guy who's been behind Tottenham's not success in the last 25 years, but he's been behind the scenes, the new stadium rebuild. You know, the team, the coaches. He's the one who sacked Ange Postecoglou. Your thoughts?
Ange deserved better. I'll say that. But yeah, it's definitely a big blow for Tottenham. Pretty shocking as well, like I would say. Like anyone else would say as well, pretty shocking. I definitely didn't see it coming, but you know, it's what it is. People have changed their hearts, you know. It's definitely the job's definitely mentally draining for sure. Like working 25 years there.
25 years.
Yeah, I've some point to pull the pin really. So yeah, the guy did a good job. 1 trophy?
1 trophy, 25 years.
So you know, he finished on a high. He probably said, you know what, I've got a trophy. I'm gonna bugger off. This is my time to pull the flag. You know, who wouldn't though? Who wouldn't? So kudos to him. Let's just say that.
Yeah. we all feel for him, and we will see what happens next with Tottenham Hotspur. Okay, so I think that's all that's covered this week on That Football Podcast, your weekly dose of everything football, obviously. Thank you, Tom, for coming on with us. Always a pleasure come on the podcast, share your thoughts.
Yeah, cheers, fellas.
Don't forget to like, subscribe, and check the link in the description for our Spotify channel and X account that we post everything daily. And I guess we'll see you guys next week.
Alright, catch you guys later. Ciao, ciao.